Hi, this video is for answering question what I've been receiving like crazy through my email and also the comment. And set me answering every single one at a time, which a lot of questions have been, multiple, it's the same question over and over. First question was why I don't want to put my controller, we call that open source, because I asked them for people in North America, see if they can help me building controller and stuff like that. And some people try, they get some kind of, result, but they don't understand the hyperdrive. They don't understand what I'm working with. And so if they don't understand, if they still understand I'm working with electricity, then it's useless for me. I mean, the guy can be very smart, but if he doesn't want to understand it's not electricity, I need RF, then I'm not going to go nowhere, and I'll be dying before anything happens. So, but I do have some company in Asia which actually understand what I'm talking about, and they understand exactly the drive, the hyperdrive. We can call a motor, it's not an electric motor, but you can call it a motor if you want, because it's got rotation. But I call it hyperdrive because of the frequency and the high voltage it required to make it work very efficiently. And that's why I'm not putting that, open side. But I've been telling the recipe for 4 years on YouTube, but no one's listening. Everybody's listening, but no one's listening. So I decided, you know what, that's not working out, because I can't do that forever. I have to have someone who's actually is capable of taking the information I'm saying and building me a controller. If the person doesn't want to listen to what I say, they cannot build that, and it won't work on a hyperdrive. So now I have company who actually understand what I'm saying, and now they're doing exactly what I'm saying, and now we're going forward, and we're having some stuff is actually working. Now we're just waiting. Right now I'm waiting for the what do you call that? The firmware. I have to change the firmware. That's that. This one here, they're rebuilding. They just received the hyperdrive over there, and now they building me a controller especially for the hyperdrive, for that size hyperdrive. And hopefully I'll be able to have the software to be able to go to program and change, so I don't have to have a dozen different controller. I can do my test with one controller with different size hyperdrive. So this is the reason. And then people ask me about what can this hyperdrive does. Well, I mean, if you have the imagination of a Tweety bird, not much, right? Because you have no imagination. Just ask yourself the question: what makes the world turn? What makes the industry turn? What makes your car turn? What makes you buy your electric bike or your wheelchair or whatever? Your anything. Your blender at the house. What makes your water pump turn? All you got to do is having about 5 cents with imagination, and you're going to figure out how many electric motors around you, right? But a lot of people don't have that 5 cents imagination because they're stuck in the box. And believe me, that box, the lid is closed and it's taped solid, and they can't get out of the box. So I cannot waste my time talking to those people, because it is a waste of time. You can't wake up those people; they're already dead. So mentally dead. And so that's why I'm making this video, so I can I can explain, why I'm doing this that way. Well, first thing, I could not find a company in Canada or United States who doesn't ask me for $1 million just to look at my stuff. In Asia, all I have to do is tell them what I want, and they build it. I pay the unit, and they send it to me. Here, they're like king here. Their shit don't stink, and they know everything, but they don't know nothing. Like Anaheim. By the way, Anaheim, when I'm out with those things, you history. And this is a promise. $2 million, my ass. So, anyway, as you see, I have a bit of anger about some of the company I've been dealing with. Other question. People try to help me to figure out what's going on with DHL. Well, we know now that DHL is the worst goddamn company now around the world. I have people email me around the world, some country I didn't even know they exist, and I'm very good on geography. And I even know they exist, those countries, a small country. And they have the same problem. So it's not just me, it's the company. So I suggest everybody don't deal with DHL, period. I only have one package coming out of DHL, and they're a week late from after I prepay already. So don't deal with DHL. If you don't want to deal with DHL, guess what? The company just evaporate and go away. That's how you get rid of garbage people, right? And let's use other transport. It's many other transport. You know, it's UPS, it's FedEx, it's this, it's all kinds of different transportation we can use. So and not using and I definitely not going to send anything through DHL, whatever. Now we do have a website, and people are asking, well, when can we buy that? When can we buy that? Well, I have to prepay to get the price down, because those are $1,000 a piece. To bring the price down so people can afford it, I can bring the price down to about $400 plus shipping. But I have to prepay. I have to buy a block of 1,000 units at a time. And then when I buy this block, it takes 27 days for them to build those 1,000 units. So I have 1,000 unit waiting in the factory for me to get shipped to people. And then what we do, we go put it on the website, and the website people will be able to use a PayPal and buy their unit, and all you're going to do is wait 5 to 7 days, and they will show up to their doorstep if you don't use DHL. This is how I'm going to be working with, like, you know, try to figure out. Of course, there's going to be some kink and the beginning, but hey, we're just starting that and try to make that available. But I will not sell one of those till it's fully tested. And fully tested, this means I got to run it for a little while. So I mean, everybody's all impatient and stuff like this. You know, it's not my fault if the hydro and the gas is going up out of reach for people to buy and the bill to pay. I didn't make that, so don't bitch at me because you cannot afford to pay the hydro bill, you cannot afford the transportation. Bitch at where the problem is, not at me. So I didn't make that problem. The people make that problem because they never bitch. When something was getting too expensive, they just bent over and shoved their head up their ass and do nothing about it. That's the reason with the world we're living is, you know, it's a shithole world we're living in, because the corporation, you know, want to globalize everything up. So that's not my problem, that's your problem. Beside that, I have two here. Phone call this morning, another company jumped on board with me, and they're building me a 500 volt controller. And you can go all the way up to 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000 volts. You know, whatever, you know, the hyperdrive, the size hyperdrive is determined by the volt you're going to run it. So bigger the hyperdrive, it's just like, you get a glass of water, you can only put so much water out of it, right? You get a bucket, you can put a whole lot more water in the bucket than the glass. This is how the energy works. It's very simple. There's no mystery about it. You know, you can't move a mountain with a smaller mountain. Only the bigger mountain can move the small mountain, or an iceberg. Right? For example, that's a motion here. Here's a good example. A big iceberg will bounce against, will push another iceberg smaller than it is, smaller from its shape or its mass, right? Because it's bigger and it's heavier. And this is how energy works. Energy works in mass. People don't understand that. You can compress and create density with energy. You can't do that with electricity. Electricity is flat garbage. I mean, we've been using it for 120 some years, and it's flat garbage. You can't do nothing with it, right? It costs so much to be able to change it. So that's why I don't work with electricity, you know, for running the hyperdrive. It runs strictly on resonance and high volts. and high frequency, of course. So we're just putting something together. Hopefully, I would say I will have something to test. Probably this is going to take about. By the time they receive the hard drive, the hyperdrive, because the hyperdrive is funny. The hyperdrive, you need to have the hyperdrive in your hand to really understand. As much as I tell people how it works, it doesn't compute in them till they have it in their hand. So that company have it. We send them one. Now we just send them one. It's going to take about 14 days before they get there, and then they will be able to give me the firmware to go with the hyperdrive, so I can change, because that one is. I can plug it to my computer and I can play with it, right? I can change it. So when I get the right firmware on it, then I can change it as much as I want, from a small motor or a smaller hyperdrive and a smaller or a bigger hyperdrive. So how we have that motor part in our head is so hard to get off. Even I'm having problem, because a motor is a motor, a hyperdrive is a hyperdrive. You take a motor, you look at it, and take a hyperdrive, look at it. That one costs you so much to run and give you very little power out of it. That one costs you so little to drive, and it give you hundreds of times more efficient and more powerful than this one. So that's the difference between the hyperdrive and the motor. Besides that, what else we got? I have to some question. We got that. We got this. It's harder. I don't know. I don't want to answer 100 questions on a computer, because I don't like to be sit here for days on end and answering questions, and I just don't do that. That's why I'm making this video. I figure by the end of this month, I should be before the end of this month, April. I should have the generator working self-loop, because I get all the compartment coming in for self-looping, which is very easy. It's plug, plug, plug. No mystery on that. People already asked me, how can I make that? How can I build those things, put those things together? I have no problem. When we get everything sorted out, I will be talking and try to get some legal paper for people. I can give them a license. I'm not going to sell you a license. I'll give you the license, so you can build. You can build the generator or whatever you want to put together. You can build it, right? And believe me, I'm not going to soak you up and asking you for a fortune for each piece you're making. It will be very light. If you cannot afford to pay me, that is a problem with you. So I mean, that's all I'm trying to do, is recuperate the money I spent in it. I got $250,000 plus into it, and I'm just trying to recoup up my money and the time I spend in there. So I'm not going to be killing people with a massive amount of money in front. I don't do that. A lot of people, they you pay for a license, you pay $2-3 million for a license to do something for manufacturing. It's crazy. No, my license, all you have to do is, if you want to pay for the paperwork from the lawyer. That's all I'm asking. Because if I give you a license and I have to pay for it, then it's money off my pocket to give you a license, right? So that's mean, again, sticking off my pocket. But if you just pay for the service of the legal Mongol to do the what do you call that, the license, then it's yours, right? So I agree with stuff. None of my stuff is patent, because I don't go through the patent. All the technology I'm putting out there, it's literally pretty much open source. I've been talking about it for 4 years. So how much more open source? When people say, why you don't put that open source? Well, first thing, you don't know how to build it. Even if I gave you the open source, you still don't know how to build it. So what that's going to do? Nothing, right? So that's why, I'm controlling that, and I'm going to be controlling the power supply, because no one can get a power supply. They don't build them. They're all custom built. They're not something you can buy off the shelf. So I control that and the power supply, and that will be something that's going to bring me some revenue so I can pay back myself for the money I put into the system. And anybody says, like, you know, oh, China is going to steal that, Chinese are going to steal. They can't steal something I already gave them. I already gave them the right to take that and spread it out there as much as they can, like a disease, because they can do it. I don't have the back to do it because I'm only one guy, but when the technology gets spread in Asia, there's no way you can stop it. Here, yeah, you can stop it. You know, if they want to, they can stop it. But when I got enough out there in the world, they can't stop everybody. The technology will be out there to be grabbed and used. So that's the reason why. Beside that, what was, I don't know if I covered that. What the hyperdrive can run. Well, can run anything from, like I said, airplanes, train, car, automobiles, right? Anything imagination can. If you want to spin something, it will do it. That's simple enough, right? If you want to put it in your bicycle, it will get you into max speed. You know, it's no limit on that. If you want to put it into a car, if you want to put it into a plane, everywhere, your tractor, farm tractor, your industry, remove all those garbage motor you have there, which we call motor, and the garbage. Westinghouse, GE, what do you call that? And they have another one, Fisher and all that, those big companies for making motor, Packer and all that stuff. There's a new kid in the block. Be aware. That's all I have to say. There's a new kid in the block. Be aware, because the technology will spread worse than a wildfire. You think California fire was bad? You never seen nothing yet. So pretty much that's probably much of it. I probably answered a lot of questions from the YouTube channel. So two-way test it. When I receive it, test it. Then I'll make a video of it. Everybody will be able to see it. You'll be able to see how much output I'm doing. The hyperdrive I got in my generator, way overkill. Way overkill. I mean, this 11-inch hyperdrive, they're way overkill for turning this tiny little generator. But we have other generator, we got 28 kilowatt generator, and we go even with a smaller hyperdrive on a 28 kilowatts. So, way over, but that's something I have in hand. I have 4 of those suckers, so I just want to use it, right? So, for testing, right? And you can buy it, you know, you can buy those motor fairly cheap and or those hyperdrive very cheap and eBay. You know, I buy those. I got 4. I pay from $55 to $75, I think, on eBay, and they're excellent. I mean, like, you have to tell them how to ship it properly, because they ship it with a stator inside, and they don't put any insulation between the stator and the drum. And the fin of the drum damaged the coil on the stator, which is, you know, kind of stupid. So you have to tell them to put lots of packing underneath that stator when they push it into the drum, so they don't get damaged. And because I had one that was damaged. So yeah, beside that, you know, it's just, this is the holy grail. Without that, the hyperdrive doesn't work. So. And same thing, they're all different company, but I need different company. You know, I need access just in case. You know, never put all your eggs in the same basket, right? If you trip with one basket, your eggs are all gone. At least if you have 2-3 baskets, then you can go back to the barn and pick up another basket of egg and be a little bit more careful. So I figure. By the end of this month, we should be all set, you know, to give a good demonstration with the generator under full load. It will be. I'll be putting a dryer, and I built a tree for testing house meter, and I have a house meter tree, so it's mechanical meter and electronic meter, which the power will go through, and it will be able to show you how many kilowatt hours we're using when you crank the dryer, you know, for 1 hour. It will tell you during that hour exactly how many kilowatt hours the dryer used, and so I have to supply that with a generator. Plus the generator pick up the little bit of power you need, the 5 amp you need to run the hyperdrive, and to produce the 55 kilowatts. I'm putting 55 kilowatts, the 10 kilowatts output of the generator, which is roughly around about 55 amps. So that's it, folks. Hopefully that will explain a little bit more and answer some of your questions. I know people will keep sending me different questions, but here's some answer I got. So hopefully I'll be able to have that load up in the next day or so, and we'll take it from there. So you guys have a beautiful day, and hopefully we'll talk to you later on.
Okay.
There we go. I'm picking up DHL package.
Yeah.
At the post office, and it's been delivering to my door. Just to let you know I'm not lying. So there we go. Oh my God, it is heavy. Now here's the package. As you see, $31.51, which I paid over a week ago. Good old DHL. Put it into post office. So nobody want to believe me. DHL are pieces of shit and fraud. So there you go. Here's the proof where I picked it up. So this is an update here. I just received a package from DHL. I didn't receive the package from DHL. I have to drive and go and get it from the post office. Says they're incapable of delivering their package for the contract they sign on to do so, which is fraud. I mean, even at the post office, when I explained that, they agree with me. It's fraud. If you cannot deliver it to where the parcel it was charged for and the money was paid for the distance, it's a federal fraud. So what I'm doing is just try to get my goddamn parcel. I will never. I didn't want to use DHL. It's the company over there. They use DHL to send it to me because DHL said, "Oh yeah, we deliver it to this address. Oh yeah, we can deliver it to this address." The lying bitch. So far as I'm concerned, anybody in the world who listen to this video, anybody who have stock in DHL, I would sell you stock, because I will never stop to the rest of my life. I'm going to take DHL down to their shares worth absolutely nothing. I have a lot of business coming up. Probably I would say hundreds and hundreds of thousands of parcel will have to be delivery around the world, probably in the next couple of months. And because I'm working with 4 or 5 different companies right now, 4 for sure, 5 maybe by the next week in China, because I have all kinds of technology, the developing and manufacturing for me, and all that stuff have to be delivered worldwide. So DHL, I'm going to take you down. Very simple as that, because it's nothing but a good publicity, and a bad publicity will take you down faster than the good publicity. And your manager in DHL should be fired, and some of the owner should be removed if they're not full owner, because DHL is a public company. But everybody in the public there who own DHL share, you better look at what is going to happen to the price of your share. They're going to drop just like the stock of the company of Tesla company. They're joke. They're fraud. They're deceiving people. They promise you all kind of stuff when they pick up the package. Soon you pay the money. It's called fuck you for the customer who's receiving it. They have no service. You cannot. That William guys, people talk about it on YouTube. Oh, talk to William. You can't talk to that motherfucker. Right? I talked to a guy who responded to me, and people are asking me, please, can you send me the DHL website? Shake the shit between your ears. You just told me the name of the website. All you have to do is put DHL website and click on it. And what we have today with people, they have to be fucking retarded or what? So just to let you know, we will deal with that in a larger way. Because all those companies who don't supply service after they take your money, they should be removed from doing business. The business license should be removed. As far as I'm concerned, DHL had no business to work in Canada. When they start losing countries as a working place, You will see how the other company will say, whoa, we're going to lose millions of dollars here. We better smart up with our service and give people service again. And this fucking bullshit, then COD means cash and delivery. I don't give a shit if you don't take cash, that's another federal offense. If you don't take cash as a business, it's a federal offense. Look it up in commerce. You can have your license removed for that. And a fine. I'm not too sure. I think it's $20,000 fine. So, And then people think, why the hell I'm fucking pissed off all the time? I have plenty of reason to get pissed off. The only one people who don't get pissed off is the fucking retarded. And the retarded is the one who doesn't complain when something is wrong. They create this problem. They let it slide, let it slide, let it slide. This is the biggest problem in the world. People let things slide because they have no ball to say anything. But anyway, done with that. If you want an update, yesterday I received my covenant. I already got a phone call yesterday and today from China, not China, but Israel. And we have the first contract I received, the company already received the hyperdrive, and they're working on building a brand new controller with a governor built into it for the hyperdrive for the larger drum. I have a company who also is building those drum motor. I call them hyperdrive because they don't run on electricity. Now finally people click on that. It's not electricity, it's RF. And RF is not electricity. Simple as that. Electricity is AC. Almost, end of story. So at the point in time now we have many companies that they're jumping in the bandwagon. Now they actually understand what I'm talking and they see the energy I can produce with a tiny little bit of power. The multiplication is beyond this world. So now it's time for people to just, listen and wait a little bit. And I have the company who's making hyperdrive. I order 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 2-inch thick on the stator. And then we're going to be able to have controller set up for each side of it. So that way we have a controller for each motor. So you order a motor. You're going to order a controller. The controller will be totally automated. That means you can control the speed on it. It will be able to reprogram, but we're not going to play with the program right away. So we'll just, because it's too much people jumping stuff and screw things up, and I'm not going to let that happen as little as possible. And the people are saying, but why don't put that open side? It is. I'm supplying you with the Holy Grail. What more do you want me to do? Oh yeah, that's right. It's not enough for some asshole out there. They're never happy. It doesn't matter what you do. They're never happy. So, but and people tell me, they said, why China will steal that? China. I gave them the authority to use the technology in China. And I'm going to do the same thing for India. I'm going to do the same thing for Israel. I'm going to do the same thing for all the country, because China will developing the software for those controller, but because I'm giving them the right to use the technology, I remain the owner of the software. So see, I'm not that stupid, right? And then the software, after a while, I'm going to release the software out there. After we flood the world with that stuff, then I'm going to release the software so people can do and play with the computer and change the setting and those controller and do whatever they want after that. But first thing, I got to flood the market for this stuff around the world so it doesn't get squashed anymore. And there's other people who actually transmit electricity to their house wireless all over the place. So it's a group of people down the road all going to get together, and then we all exchange all our technology, and we're all going to crisscross the technology together. And after that, no one can stop that. Matter of fact, right now it's going to be really hard to stop it. I don't care if they come up and kill me. It ain't going to stop. There's enough information out there now, and I wake up enough people out there, then the information will never die anymore. So I know I didn't do the same mistake of Tesla. I didn't go to the patent office, and everybody does the same thing. They're not going to the patent office. We let it go for the people to have it. So whatever you want to do with it is up to you. You will have the technology. And so that's about it right now. That's just and also for the person Heather who sent me this book, and I'm not too sure is our Raleigh, I think, who sent me this book. I did receive this book. It's called Electronic Communication. Excellent book. It literally confirmed everything I've been saying for the last 5 years in this book. So I don't know if you can buy this book anymore, but I'm going to give you a closer look so you guys can, right, so you can see. And that's the person who actually, wrote the book. And that's the second edition, so you get many editions of that, but this book is very good. And it literally cross-reference with everything I've been doing for the last 5 years. And it's all about RF, nothing else, non-electricity there. So, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It took a long time to get here, like everything else, but I got it, and I appreciate, the effort of that person, to find that book. And I know they don't have much money and stuff like this, but the technology I'm giving you guys will pay for that millions of times. So, and I hope everybody will enjoy the technology. So, yeah, we're pretty much, pretty much going forward. Hopefully in another, I would say another 5 or 6 days, maybe 10 days, I would say, I might get the first controller who's been custom built, like custom from scratch, a whole new controller for the hyperdrive. And the second company will be receiving, I think, the hyperdrive will just send them. It's been 3 days already, so they're probably going to receive it by the end of this week. So that's mean they're going to be able to do the calculation on the hyperdrive, and they will be able to configure the controller so it works especially for that size motor. And that size motor is way overkill for the generator. Matter of fact, I'm waiting for another hyperdrive, which is only an 8.5 inch drum, which is still plenty overkill for that 10 kV I'm going to be turning with. Because you have to understand that the energy coming out of those hyperdrive is just phenomenal. It's nothing in this planet will have more power and use so little amperage or currents, if you want to call it. So there we go. It's just a little bit of update here, and as parts coming in, we're getting close. So hopefully the sky ain't gonna fall on my head, and I'll be able to do a video when I got the generator running and with the load on it, and it's running by itself. With you start with a battery, you can disconnect the battery out of it, and also I limited the power supply. We have the company who's building now the UPS, where the UPS will be the power supply at the same time for the controller. So that's very interesting system. So I think it's going to take about 10 to 15 days, and I should be getting my my UPS. In the meantime, I'm just going to do it connected to the wall, but I'll be able to record what I'm using out of the wall and what load is going out at the generator, and we will be able to balance out that way. So anybody who know how to count, we'll have a calculator. You'll be able to see how much over unity I'm doing with this generator compared to whatever. We don't have over unity beside that. It's that simple, right? So there we go. That's my update. I will put this video together, and hopefully by Friday or Saturday this video will be uploaded, and you'll be able to see the update. So you guys have a good day, and we'll talk to you later. There it is, how DHL carries stuff. The parts I pick up from DHL, I just pulled out of the box, damaged, the top broken. That's how they throw things around when they don't like you. Okay, look at the damage. Look how heavy the steel is. So this stuff was thrown around, on purpose. Look at that.
So if you think I'm kidding about DHL, you're highly hallucinating. DHL are pieces of shit, period. And they should be no business to do any dealing in Canada. With all the evidence I have, if your people cannot see that, then you're mentally retarded. It's just me again. I just want to give you a total update. I managed to get the controller reprogrammed back to factory setting. We changed the firmware on it, but this controller has been damaged, so I'm just using it to show you how quiet I can make this thing turn, and the amp drawing on this thing and all that stuff, right? So we can take a look at it. So just to let you know, it's still, I don't have to start kicking it to start it, right? Still only turn at 565 RPM, but that's how quiet now it is with the right software in it for this type of motor. But now with the programming for get it higher volt and stuff like that, higher speed, then we have to change the other software in it. So the company is doing that for us right now. But as this thing's turning right now and idling, it's spinning. You have to understand the center of that generator there is 58 pounds of steel to turn the inside of that generator. Even if you don't put any power, you're not putting any power out of it, and because it's not turning too slow, it's not producing any power because it's self-activating generator. So, but right now it's using 1.18 of an amp. Now people won't believe this. I'll just grab the camera here. And I'm going to show you. There you go, 1.19 amp. That's all that thing is drawing right now to spin 50 pounds of more than 50 pounds. It's almost, by the time everything up, you're looking at about 60 pounds of steel inside. So, and this here will be eliminated. My UPS will be built with the power supply built in the UPS. So we're removing one box. There's one object I'm removing out of the equation. So, and it will have, the UPS will have the connection for running all my controller and also my governor. So there you go, just an update, and as you can tell, nice and smooth, nice and quiet. This is, even at high speed, you're going to get a tiny little bit more hissing, but the whining will not be any higher than that. So there you go, this is a short update. Hopefully you guys enjoy it.